All right, what's up, folks? Welcome to Foreign and Domestic. It is good to be here. Good to see folks popping into the side chat. Alan, what's going on, man?
Entirely too much, man. I have been like insanely busy. Lots of people sick all around me. Nevertheless, we're gonna go ahead and get this shit show started.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Awesome. You have a good Thanksgiving, brother?
I actually had a decent Thanksgiving considering my card originally was going to be so full. I had like 6 different houses that I felt like I needed to go to all of them. And one by one, like dominoes, they just started falling off and falling off. And like almost everybody I know ended up with bad flu signs and strep throat, except for one house. And I went there, had a phenomenal dinner, great company. They sent me home with 3 more Thanksgiving dinners that couldn't be beat. It was fabulous.
Good deal, man. Good deal. Oh. Rob, how was your Thanksgiving, man?
That was all right. Survived it. Food was good. Didn't get sick myself, but have a similar story where some of the guests that normally come were sick themselves. So it seems like that's been going around apparently. So, but other than that, fairly good. Had a few pies and even got a one of them cherry crumb pies and basically killed that last night. Yeah, that was just, I don't know. I've been assaulting some pies lately. Let me put it that way. So
You've been assaulting some pies.
yep. Definitely.
Isn't that a felony in New York?
Probably, and especially the cherry pie. It probably looked like a felony because I'll be honest, I'd even wait for a 100% set. How you supposed to give it 2 hours? Oh hell no! I waited about an hour as far as I could wait.
That was probably a hate crime too, with it being cherry.
Maybe it looked like a mess, but oh my gosh! See, now I'm thinking about going to get another one. Damn.
There you go. Bama Dad, how you doing, man?
Hanging in there, trying to fight off a cold like I was telling you earlier. But I think it's reduced now to just sinus problem, so I'm all right. Didn't do a whole lot for Thanksgiving.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was unique, to say the least. I got to spend it finally got to see my grandkids, so hadn't seen them in a year, but everything worked out good. Got to
that makes for a good day right there, seeing grandkids.
Yeah, got to spoil 2 of my granddaughters.
Heck yeah, man, that's awesome. Good deal. Jamie, how about you, brother? How was your Thanksgiving?
It was okay, man. Pretty good. Thanks for having me. Here's the thing, man. I didn't have one of these at Thanksgiving, but I hope to do one for Christmas, whether I have to buy it or whatever. How many of you guys have had a Black Forest cake?
Oh man, me, lady that won the Pillsbury Bake Off 3 years in a row she's from Germany. She used to make me one every birthday.
Said Black Forest.
Black Forest.
It's a cake that the recipe originated in the Black Forest in Germany.
Man, let me
Okay.
tell you, you can put that on your head and your tongue will slap your brains out, man. Uh, Here's the thing. There's Vanessa Kitty. Cherry and chocolate. All right, stop right there. Okay, basically, this is a devil's food cake with chocolate icing and a cherry pie on the top. Man, I'm telling y'all what's the truth, man. That is just good stuff. Anyway, thanks for having me. I've run off at the mouth enough. Y'all go ahead.
No, you're good, man. How's the wife doing? She doing all right?
That's the meanest white woman in Floyd County.
You ain't got to tell me. I know.
I know you know, but I'm blessed that she chose me to spend her life with, and so I'm uh, I'm happy about that. But yeah, kids are around. Supper's not been served yet, but she's in there working on it. I do barbecue for the holidays, and it keeps me up all night. But man, you get lots of great leftovers. So I've got we're having pulled pork for supper tonight. We still have a piece of a hind quarter from a deer, and we have half of a pork loin smoked, and we'll be eating barbecue until all of that is gone. So uh, that's good stuff, man. It's worth staying up all night when you don't have to cook for 4 or 5 days. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I didn't cook anything on Thanksgiving itself because I didn't have power for most of the day. I didn't get power till late in the day, so I didn't do anything then. But I went ahead and smoked the turkey yesterday, low and slow.
Mm.
That baby came out looking good.
Oh man. You know what the best thing about a smoked turkey is? Is after all the white meat's gone, you've eaten all of it that you want. You can take what's left and make smoked turkey soup. And golly, man, that is some great stuff.
Yeah, that's pretty dang good. It's the first time I've smoked a turkey. It's the best turkey I've had. I'll tell you that. It's falling off the bone. Really good.
All right, this is a thing. You guys that do turkeys, here's a baste for you. There's Edward Petty, my man. Uh, Here's a baste for you. Equal parts molasses and soy sauce. I dare you to try it. I dare you. I'm telling you, you'll love it. Your turkey will come out black. But my God.
I did mine. I did mine with bone broth, and it came out golden.
All right. How many of you guys brine a turkey before you cook it?
My lady usually does when she can find the brine, which she couldn't this year.
Vanessa's asking what type of wood. I was using hickory.
When I smoke my wood, I just use Kingsford charcoal with preferably applewood smoking chips.
Hey, you guys hear about the U.S. is potentially going to get flooded with, what is it, 3D printed or bioengineered bacon? Just
Dude,
seen
it's
an
already
article.
it's that stuff's already here. All that kind of stuff's been being made for years. It's just now coming out about it.
Or
You
lab
go,
bacon or something, but well,
you look at Campbell's soups and stuff. All of that meat is fake meat. None of it's actual meat.
yeah, but bacon. I mean, what American allowed people to screw with our bacon? I mean,
Really, man, y'all are depressing. I mean, one of the light spots in my life, and you're saying it's ruined? Dang, man. Bacon?
yeah, you can't mess with bacon. I mean, we
Right.
we should be in an uproar about that. I just heard about this today. Like that scares me because you're saying applewood. I love the applewood bacon. It got me thinking, connecting dots. What the hell? You guys aware of this, or is the article I heard a bunch of crap? Hopefully.
No, it's probably true because, like I said, they've done it. They've been doing it to a lot of different meats over the years. It's just that more and more of it's coming to light for people to see it.
Yeah, man.
It's
We
been
gotta
going on
start.
for a long time.
We gotta start raising chickens and hogs, boys. I'm telling you.
Why do you think they're buying up all the farmland? Get rid of all the farmers so you can't have proper meat.
Dang, man, don't be a party pooper, dude. Golly.
All right. Well, Rob started the depressing part. Let's
Sorry,
move on.
man.
Man,
Now that you brought it
somebody,
all the way down right at the beginning of the chat,
I'm
jeez.
telling you, man, somebody's got to come up with a good joke at this point. Golly. Come on, Alan. You can
Well,
do it.
now I did find out something very interesting here, and so that I'm not screwing around, I'm going to go ahead and turn my camera on here. Okay, so I have a widget here for Grok AI. I was screwing around with this thing a little bit over Thanksgiving, and I was really interested to find out this little tidbit. Hey Grok, who has the sexiest eyebrows on YouTube?
Huh, that's a tough one. Eyebrows are basically the unsung heroes of hotness. If I had to pick, I'd say PewDiePie takes the crown with those perfectly arched, mischievous ones that scream, "I'm about to roast your grandma."
The one thing that I have found out about Grok is it's very inconsistent. Because for some oddball reason, I was flipping through different shows, different foreign and domestics, and I just picked it up and was like screwing around with Grok, and I asked it, "Who has the sexiest eyebrows on YouTube?" And Grok told me Mario Moza.
Back to that
He can't
same
trust
old
me.
He'll
place.
kill himself.
Sweet home Chicago.
Sweet.
Ladies and gentlemen, the sexiest man on YouTube.
Hold on now. That's a bit of a reach. Let's go with the sexiest eyebrows, Rob.
Yes, eyebrows. I don't know where you guys got the sexy man shit from. That maybe that was 20 years ago. Not anymore.
Have y'all ever noticed that even who's that magazine that does the sexiest man of the year? They're only sexy for 1 year. Come on, guys. What's
Well,
up with
yeah,
all
dude.
that?
It's like you can't have the sexiest woman and then be the same one for 10 years, bro.
Well, you've been the same one with the sexiest eyebrows on YouTube for
That
what?
is
How
true,
many years
but
now?
who
At
else
least
has
6.
those eyebrows, bro? That's what I'm saying. Nobody has the Dracula eyebrows like I do. That's what I'm saying.
Hey Grok, who has the sexiest eyebrows on YouTube?
That brown target loving Mario Mosin.
Oh,
Wow. I feel so special right now. Thank you.
Oh, you're special. You're just not as special as Tyrone.
Oh no, not as special as Tyrone. Nope. Nope. Dude, I have gotten so many comments and people hit me up about that video. It was well worth it. I am so thankful that it happened. And I was able to capture it. And yeah, it was crazy because it was just the craziest of roastings that we've ever done on anybody in the chat. And it was probably and the thing about it is he just kept going, bro.
Right.
If he would have just kept it to like 10 minutes, no, it was like 30 minutes just roasting his ass to the point that he had to make a video about it later.
That was classic, man. I jumped in on his chat yesterday and he shut it down.
Oh, he did?
I was in the side chat and he shut it down.
No. I went in earlier and he and I commented about Sweet Home Chicago and he was like,
I went in and said, "Can I get a link?" And he's like, "Oh, we're shutting this down."
He's like, nope, we're done.
Who are we talking about?
Oh, you haven't
Uncle
seen the
Jim.
video?
Oh,
Uncle Jim opened his mouth on a live chat last Saturday, and he went a little too far, and we absolutely just ripped the heck out of him because he opened his mouth and just wouldn't stop doing it.
Yeah.
it happens.
Oh yeah. No,
You
it
gotta
was.
be careful what you say on YouTube, man.
I'm just wondering, what was he drinking that made him say that? I was just kind of curious because he went
I
back for a
don't know,
refill.
man.
Oh yeah.
So what was the
absolutely. It was like
comment? Can we talk
completely.
about it?
Yeah, of course you can.
Yo, we can talk about it. I mean, yeah, sure.
What was his comment?
Oh, it wasn't his comment. Okay. So the whole thing started because we were talking about the BAR. He had a picture behind his background, right? And it kind of reminded me of the old Bonnie and Clyde, shot up car, because he had a shot up car in there. And we started talking about the whole Bonnie and Clyde thing, and how she would, drag around a BAR, and she was like a really petite little girl and stuff. And of course, like Scotsman was all like, "Yeah, man, she's badass, whatever." And we started talking, and ended up talking about Chicago for some reason, because I mean they are from that area, right? So to make a long story short, he starts raving about his only one time that he ended up going to Chicago. But the way he said it was just crazy, because he says, "Yeah, I hooked up with this big black guy from the Navy." And that was just enough for us to just roast him, and he just kept going and going, and
He was talking about how they were in the bathroom together and all this stuff. It's just like, dude, stop opening your mouth.
And how many times did he say we bonded? We bonded.
oh, dude, a lot.
Oh, it was ridiculous, man.
Yeah, he kept saying that for like 10, 20 minutes. And I think what made it even worse is when he said, when he came back and he said, "Oh yeah, we took turns," and I was like, "What?"
Oh yeah.
Was this a prison story?
You would have thought so.
You just need to watch the video, bro. So I could tell you. I mean,
He was talking about his bus ride home, and they stopped in Chicago, and it was just fucking hilarious, dude. Like, as soon as he said it, it was an immediate ripping. I think Kyle was one of the first ones to have a go at him, and we just all jumped in.
Well, where is Kyle tonight? Don't ask, don't tell.
I guess. I haven't seen him out there yet. But yeah, it was just it was freaking hilarious, man. It's like, you would have thought he would learn from his mistakes. He said shit before on YouTube, and shit goes elsewhere, and then he comes out with a story in him and a big black man, like, and he just kept going.
he just got out of the Navy,
Which
even made it even worse.
It was just freaking awesome.
It was hilarious, man. I was like,
it's just like,
what in the world?
Allen messed up and changed his name. Now he's forever Jan is gay. Like, you got to be careful what you put on YouTube.
Well,
that is true.
He won't ever live that one down. I guarantee.
Oh no.
Oh no, dude. He's
No.
I asked him if he invited Tyrone over for Thanksgiving.
Yeah, he'll forever be remembered as don't ask, don't tell.
I can tell you something that will always be remembered, and that was the Woodford challenge between professional amateur and our friend AllenBePro. That was an epic night.
That was one.
I don't remember most that night.
I know you don't, but there's
No.
video to prove it.
and of
That,
course I
that
came up with
video
the
has a buttload of views on it too. Still,
yeah, and you know I had the great idea to do the itsy bitsy spider after they finished. That's
yeah,
what made it
that
even
that was
better.
awesome, man. That one still has a buttload of views. I'll have to go back and see how many it's got now. Let me see if I can find it. That was a few years back now. Let's see.
Man, I get a headache just thinking about it.
I'll have to go back and watch that one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was hilarious, dude. I mean, it was just every time people donated money, they had to take a shot, and they were just people just kept piling money in, dude. Like they couldn't keep up.
Is that the time they were messing with that Chinese finger trap thing?
No, they were drinking Woodford Reserve.
Okay, okay. Must
Hmm.
be a different time.
Yeah, I had the double oaked. That's my excuse. He had just the regular
Yeah,
reserve.
it was
I had the
supposed to
double oaked.
be. It was supposed to be you both had the same thing, and he pussied out and just got the regular one. Said he couldn't find it. I'm sure you couldn't find it. You can find regular, you can find double oak. They're right beside each other. That video has just over 400 views on it right now. But people keep going back and they'll watch it and they'll leave a comment on there.
I would have thought more like 4,000.
Yeah, no, it's unfortunate. I think it deserves to get at least have 4,000. Because you know, and what really upsets me about that whole situation is that we did all this effort for fucking nothing, man. Because this nonprofit ended up going under. I was like just really upset and disappointed about that whole situation.
I hear you, man.
Yeah, I was
Because
I was
you
pretty
know,
I was pretty pissed about that, man.
yeah, because you know, I mean, you think about it. This is a topic that's near and dear to me, and I mean, it's near and dear to a lot of you guys that you know me and know what I've been through, and I know that you guys barely know me as far as like what I've been through, but you guys get a glimpse of what I've been through, and then there's thousands of us out there like that, man. A lot of us are out there like that, man. Happy Thanksgiving, brother. And you know it is tragic that you know these people were not able to be have the same type of um integrity as Justin,
Right. Well, and the problem is too is his brother was part of the problem, and that's the really shitty part. Like, how can you do that, man? You know.
Well, there's so much going on. I don't think I've ever seen anything like YouTube to see our veterans going after each other like they're doing. Like some of these SEALs saying he's a lying guy. He's a lying. He didn't do the things he said he did, and
Right. But that's the special forces community that's doing that. It's not really just like regular veterans going at each other because we really don't gain nothing by it. But the biggest problem that we got going on within the special forces community, I'm only speaking from what I've seen and what I've gathered, is that because many of them are able to kind of speak about a lot of the stuff that they did back then and can profit from it, they will do that any chance they get. And it's
well, that's
sad that you want to profit out of the sweat and tears of all your other brothers and stuff. I don't get that. I I think it's pretty dishonorable. And the thing about it is that it puts a bad a bad taste in the mouth to those that serve and those that want to serve.
yeah.
Because think about it, there's so many people out there that they strive to be a Green Beret or a Navy SEAL or an Army Ranger or a combat controller in the Air Force, and they see this kind of crap and they see how they kind of like talk to each other and treat each other after they both pretty much been in life-threatening situations, and now I'm gonna sue you for 25 million. Like, first of all, none of those guys have 25 million dollars. I don't give a shit how much books or
Talking about
whatever they sold. Maybe
you
maybe
got to be
Jack
talking about
Carr.
the Bob O'Neill
Yeah,
lawsuit.
yeah. Maybe Jack Carr has that kind of money because I know he's made a lot of money when he came out of the military. But if you look at it, all his books are all fictional. They're not. They're not real in any kind of way.
Oh
He
no,
he
you know,
created these kind of like Tom Clancy when he created Jack Ryan. Like created these fictitious fucking people, and that's how he's able to get away with it. And he's the only one that I can think of that's been like that's really made it big, and him and Sean Ryan. But the other ones are out there just trying to appease the other and trying to create some sort of rhetoric, which in the long run, it doesn't just affect the special forces community; it affects the whole military. Man, it's sad.
yeah, you take
So I put a link out there to the drink off. It's actually almost at 600 views. Yeah, I knew it had more. I was trying to find it, but yeah, that's the link for it if you guys want to go back and watch that at some point. But yeah, that was a hilarious time. I don't think so. I don't think Alan remembers a whole lot of it. I remember the aftermath.
he had
Yeah,
alcohol-induced amnesia.
yeah, he
Dude,
was knocked the
you
No,
fuck
know,
no,
out.
I was present for like the first half hour, 45 minutes. And then I wasn't quite as present for like the next 15 minutes after that. Beyond that, I don't recall a damn thing.
yeah, it was about an hour and 15, hour and 20 in. You could see he was disappearing. You didn't know where he was.
I'm fading fast.
I
Well,
had
and then
no
the
idea that
best
I
part
even
was right near the
existed at
end
that
of it. We're
point.
getting ready to cut it off, and you just see this hand come in from the side, stop him from falling off the chair.
Well, I watched a lot of the stuff that came on with the Luttrell, with Marcus Luttrell. He didn't write a book, but he got credit for writing a book. And you start realizing that a lot of these guys got thrust into popularity because the publishing houses saw a giant pool of talent that they could write a book from, get a few little interviews from these guys and put the book in their name. And then all of a sudden, wow, they've got a top 10, New York Times bestseller. And of course, the truth be told, the the special forces guy didn't write anything. And the difference, like you
Well,
look,
it's no different than the guy that wrote the Band of Brothers. I mean, he pretty much went based on the memoirs of Dick Winters, But
yeah,
if he didn't have that, he wouldn't have been able to have the things that he did. And there are some things that he wrote for the script that were completely biased. They were completely like just
fictional.
out. Yeah,
Yeah, him
fictional.
and Dick Winters got into it a few times because Dick Winters was on the set quite a bit, and they got into it more than
Yeah,
once.
because like the whole thing about David Blythe, like that was a complete lie, man. Like that dude was not that fucked up, and same thing with Nixon. Like his fucking best buddy there. I mean, he had issues or whatever the case may be, but it wasn't to the point that they made it out to be.
No,
Yeah,
I just really like. I mean, thinking about you look at somebody like Jack Carr. Jack Carr came out. He was writing before he even got out of the SEALs. He
yeah, but Jack.
he was a natural talent. A
Right. No,
real,
Jack Carr is I would just put him. He's kind of ahead of a lot of people. He's very smart, very meticulous. I mean, very well educated. I mean, you gotta understand this man made it pretty high up there in the Navy SEALs, and for you to get to that point where you're at that level, I mean, You gotta know what the fuck you're doing. But yeah, he's a very talented writer, and that's something that a lot of people don't give him credit for. Like everything that he's ever wrote, he didn't have anybody help him. He did it all himself.
Yeah, and he's writing under contract. You know, that to
So,
me would be a nightmare. I mean, like you've got to produce whether you really have the inspiration for it or not. If you want to keep the money coming in, you got to produce books, and that's a hard.
Well, I mean, the guy was 20 some fucking years in the SEALs, man. I'm sure he's got plenty of stuff that he can he can write about. It's like anything else, man. If you think of like for example, Tom Clancy wrote about 20 fucking books, but he got burned the fuck out. You know, somebody who's that talented, you just can't fucking tell him, hey, you got a fucking year to come up with a book, and the shit better be good. Like, no, man, it's inspirational, and it
yeah,
has to come from you.
you can't push creativity,
No,
man.
you can't
You
push
gotta let it flow
creativity.
naturally.
Yeah, and I mean, I think the reason why his books are so good at that time is because he was motivated to want to make those books, but towards the end, you kind of noticed that he wasn't focused on that anymore. He
Yeah, the
wanted to
writing
focus
style was different.
on his life. Yeah, he wanted to focus on his life. You know, he wanted to kind of focus on other projects that he wanted to do. It wasn't about writing anymore. And the thing about it is that although you know we do appreciate a lot of people that are fascinated with special forces and fascinated what they do. I mean, to be honest, that's a hard life, man. It really is a hard life. It's very unforgiving, and it's very hard on the body, on the mind. Most people, when they get the fuck out, even if you're just a conventional guy, you're fucking beat, man. Like you're to a point where your body is not what it used to be. You want to relax. You want to kind of just chill, and that's where a lot of these guys are at this point of their
So,
life, man.
did you have a good Thanksgiving, man?
It was great, bro. I had a good time. You know, I wish I had my kids here, my grandkids here, but you know, it was good. I mean, wasn't as good as other years, but it was still decent. You know, I mean, the kids are all kind of growing up and they're kind of doing their own thing, so it's kind of sad, you know. But that's life, man. You know.
Yeah.
What do
Well,
you
that's
do for
good. I'm glad
traditional
you at least
dinner,
had a good
Mario?
time.
What do you do for a traditional Thanksgiving dinner?
I do a traditional Thanksgiving dinner. I don't see. Here's my thing, dude. Thanksgiving is an American holiday, so you should follow tradition. That's just how I feel about it. So you know, we do the turkey, we do the ham, green bean casserole, the mashed potatoes. I do what they call a stuffing muffin. So I basically, instead of putting the stuffing, I make it into a muffin, and the kids like it because it's kind of crispy and it's nice and gooey in the inside. You know, I always like to make like a cake, like a pineapple upside down cake or something like that. So I like to make those kind of foods for them because they like that stuff, and that's what they grew up with since they were little kids. So my biggest thing is I always told them, hey, look, Thanksgiving is an American holiday. It's not a Hispanic holiday. I know a lot of Hispanics like to kind of put their own traditions on it, but I'm more of a traditionalist. I feel that you know when it comes to certain holidays, that those should remain traditional. That's just how I look at it.
Yeah, but you know, my ex-wife, she's Italian, and no matter we had, she was kind of the same way you are, but there always had to be like a pan of lasagna, and I'm like, how do you put turkey and dressing on your plate and all this, and then eat a spoonful of lasagna too? That's okay. I'm gonna top that off with some Alka Seltzer.
Hey man, I wouldn't bitch. I like turkey. I like traditional, and I love lasagna. So I wouldn't bitch, man.
Ugh.
Well, yeah, it's just that I think Bama's talking about more about the traditional aspect of the holiday, and that is true. I
Yeah,
mean,
no, I'm just being a
yeah,
smart ass kind of. But in all reality, I honestly wouldn't bitch. I love lasagna.
yeah, eat your salad too. Eat your salad.
Well, hey, I hear there's not going to be very many country western concerts in New York City.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. There's something else I'd bring up, but I don't want to depress everybody, so I won't.
Well, I heard that one by one, nearly every major country western star has canceled every show in New York City.
Bam, I quit trying to depress everybody.
First of all, why the fuck would you win? If you're my country western star, why would I want to go to New York?
They
don't make
want
no
it.
fucking
They
sense.
booked it.
Yeah, there's like a new fad or something going on around here because it's not typical, but or it's not usual. But now you got on the weekends, a lot of girls. It's like they all get together and decide, but every once in a while, it's like cowboy night. Everybody's running around with the hats and the boots and all this shit. We got
They all wanna
stores
go
here
see
that sell nothing but cowboy boots and all that shit. It was a something barn, boot barn or whatever. Shit, I went in there looking for a pair of work boots. Oh hell no, hell no. Not that kind of store. I figured it's
Yeah,
boot
they're not.
barn,
That
right?
store's
Like they're
not
gonna
for
have a
you,
shitload
man.
of boots. Oh no,
That store's not for you. That's not for cheap folks.
no.
Wait a minute. I've gotten work boots out of Boot Barn. What are you talking about?
Not me. I mean,
No, you remember, you got to remember, he's a cheapskate.
well, it's
Oh
not
yeah,
that. All they had were like cowboy boots. They didn't have anything like uh,
really?
solid shank or
No, they.
to deal with
Oh,
electricity or anything like that. It was
Huh?
all just
really?
straight
Ones out here,
cowboy
ones
boots.
out here do.
No, all of us
Yeah.
have all of our boot barns here have cowboy stuff, and they have an area just for work boots, and they have electric, and they have like construction type boots as
Yeah.
well.
Well, I can tell you, I went in there and they knew I was lost. So they came right up and asked me if I needed help and told the lady what was up. And she took me around and showed me because everything's by size, I guess, here.
Yeah,
And
it's by size.
it took me to the area and they didn't have nothing like, not even close. So yeah, I was kind of in shock, but basically, because I was wondering how the hell is this store going to survive because that's not the local fashion. But then, boom, the weekend comes around and everybody turns into a cowgirl. So I was like, oh shit, okay.
Shit.
Yeah,
Okay.
I haven't been to the one out here because I either go to the farm store to get my boots, or we have the Granger truck shows up every now and then, and we can just get them right off the truck. So I either do that or I go to the farm store because we can do it through Boot Barn too, but I'm not driving an hour one way just to go to the Boot Barn when I can get boots, right there or 20 minutes away. Because the nearest Boot Barn here is
I
an
get
hour
I get a
away.
discount at I get a discount at Tyson's Farm Tractor Store, whatever. But there's no way, absolutely no way for me to get a better quality boot. I've been wearing Brunts for
Why in the fuck
over
would you
a
wear
year
that piece
now.
of shit?
But
Are they
I
as
buy
good
the
as
American
everybody brag?
Brunts, and I tell you what, when I very, very first put them on, I was really kind of shocked because I was actually a little intimidated because they felt like they were already broke in. And I've got the same ones that I've been wearing to work. I'm on concrete 10, 12, 14-hour days, constantly on my feet. And other than they're a little dirtier, they're great.
What
They're
do they
phenomenal.
What do they look like? Because I've never heard of them.
Oh, they're all the go now.
Yeah, Brunts suck though, man. I'm not a fan of Brunts at all.
I'll grab it.
Yeah, didn't
Never
they
liked
start
them.
off American and then like sell out and start using
Yeah,
the cheapest shit
they're an
possible?
American company, and then they went to fucking China and had China make all their shit, and of course they took a bunch of shortcuts on the shit. I only buy Thorogoods and Carolina. Those are the only two fucking brands I buy.
I don't know if you guys know that guy that does like the boot reviews where he cuts them all in half, and he's like a podiatrist or some shit. I don't know, but
Yeah.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah, he was saying stay away from those.
All
So
right, let's see what these.
so,
uh,
so
Hang on.
these, I've been wearing these for well over a year. It doesn't
I
matter
hope we don't
what
get flagged for
rain,
showing a
weather,
boot on
snow.
camera.
They are the American ones. So they're more expensive. So I paid $250 for this set. It even has a little American tag that comes along with it. But I beat the living shit out of these things for well over a year. It looks like I work as a diesel mechanic. I've never cleaned them. I've never done anything other than put them on my feet before I leave the house and take them off my feet when I get home. And I've got zero complaints. Zero. But
Well, I mean, if they work for
if
you,
you're going
that's
to
all
buy
that
the
matters,
American
bro.
ones, it's going to cost you an extra $100 over the regular Brunts.
Well, I would hope so,
maybe
especially
that's
if
the
you're.
difference. Yeah, maybe they have a U.S. and then China division or something. I don't know, but maybe I don't know.
They're called. Well, they're
You
called
got normal
what?
feet, or you got like wooden pegs or something.
So it's called what? Brunts? You said BRUNTS. Okay,
Brunt
yeah,
boot.
brunt. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
I'm not
And
crazy
the
about
thing
them.
is
Just
with the Americans, you're buying the American material. All the leather is American. All the insole is American. All it. It so yeah, I'm gonna pay the extra money. You've heard me say it a billion times out here on YouTube. I'm willing to pay extra money for American products.
Right.
If
yeah,
they're actually being assembled in the
that's what I
U.S., I
purchased.
can tell you that. What I can tell you is the material is all U.S. made.
Yeah, that's
Um,
good. I mean, whatever works for you, buddy. I just personally, I have, I've had friends that buy Brunts and they're like they fucking hated life with those things and they wore out so damn quickly. Um, I only buy Thorogoods and I only buy Carolinas. I like both of them because they're both made in the U.S. Some of the materials are not made in the U.S., but the boot itself is made in the U.S., which is what I like. Not crazy
See,
about Red Wing. Not
as
crazy
far as
about Red
brunts
Wing.
go, I only buy Ariats.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not crazy about Red Wing. I think Red Wing's completely overpriced. But to each their
I
own.
totally agree on Red Wings. Was wearing Carolinas before I got into these. So much so that from where I sit, I can reach down and grab a shoebox. So yeah, I was wearing Carolinas before I got these Brunts. I'm a Carolina fan too.
Yeah, I tried a pair of Red Wings once, and like you said, Battle Bean, and they're way overpriced. And I honestly was not a big fan of them. I don't even think I made it a week in them, and I took them back.
Yeah, not
was
only
not
that,
happy
but
I was not happy with them
they
whatsoever.
they take a fucking long time to break in, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, I was having a rough time with them. I think I had them maybe a week at most, and I'm like, yeah, these ain't working for me. Not for what they cost. I'm like, that shouldn't be like that. So I ended up taking those back, and I've been wearing Ariats ever since. That was the one time I tried Red Wing. I forget who mentioned them to me.
They let you return shoes.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I caused
For
the
me,
fucking.
that's like unheard of. I don't think I've ever heard of a store that returned shoes.
I caused a stink up, man, because I was pissed.
Yeah, I think Red Wings does let you return their boots. I think there is like a 1 week trial time or whatever where you can
Now,
bring it back.
I've had some with warranties that you could send in, and they'll, if anything breaks, they'll take care of it, and they did and send it right back
Right.
out. But yeah, I never heard of anything. Usually, when you put them on, or once you leave the store, they're yours.
Right.
Those
Yeah,
are the rules that I've been explained. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they took them back. I was not happy with them. I explained exactly what was going on, and they took them back. So
Yeah, I
Hmm.
when I was in the military, I had a lot of Vanessa Kitty talking about Corcoran's. I had those jump boots. They're great boots. I think I had them for like 10, 15 years. But towards the end, the military started creating these different boots that are made by Rocky. Man, those things are so fucking
Yeah,
comfortable.
yeah,
You
and
talk, you know what I'm
those
talking
they
about?
would return. Those were
Yeah,
warranted.
yeah, those are
Yeah,
warranty.
yeah.
Um, and but the only thing about the sole of the Rocky is that it wears out so fucking quick. But they were great boots, man, and they
Mm.
last a long time. And I know that before the ones that I had, they were not able to be resold, so I was kind of bummed about that because I really enjoyed them, and they break in so quickly, man. Um, but those are my favorite
Comfortable.
ones.
They're
They're
decent
super
and
comfortable.
cold. Some of them were
Mm-hmm.
good. Yeah, yeah, they were decent boots. The side leather piece where you can kind of cover the zipper thing. I had
Right.
that break on me. It wasn't like the boot failed or nothing. It was just I knew
Mm-hmm.
there was a warranty, and they were starting to look rough. So I figured, shit, I'll try it. And
Yeah,
sure as shit,
and
it cost me nothing, shipping or nothing. Boom, they took them back, sent me a new one. Or I don't know if they repaired them or what, but I got them in less than a week.
yeah, and also for wintertime, I usually wear Danners because I like I like the liner that it has in there, so it keeps your feet nice and warm in the winter. But yeah,
Yeah, you
those
can go
those work
broke
for
on
me, man.
Danner. Danner's not a cheap boot.
They are not cheap. They're expensive fucking boots. But I'm gonna tell you something, man. I learned after my fifth year in the army, man. I was like, invest in your fucking boots, man, because your feet are so valuable, especially a grunt. Like those motherfuckers, you just walk and walk and if you have shitty, I remember they gave me those those crappy fucking Bellevue fucking. I mean, some of the Bellevues are good, but they gave me this really cheap fucking jungle style boot. That thing fucking sucked. I got rid of that shit like within a week.
A jungle
Couldn't care.
boot, they ain't no
Yeah,
good.
they
They're
don't
no
they don't
good.
work for me. Like um there are certain boots that just don't work for me, and I just became very picky. I got to the point that I would have two pairs of boots, so I would switch them every other day just so my feet didn't hurt. I mean, I especially towards the end of my military career, yeah, like I definitely would invest in boots and socks because it was one of those things where my feet were fucking killing me, and the only thing that would help is investing in good socks and good boots. So
You
that's
know
what I
those
did.
those military issued wool socks. Those are hard to beat.
They are okay for the summer, but like I particularly didn't like them because they fade into three different colors of green, and I mean, Outcast can tell you that they're not bad. They do hold their form for a while, but I got to a point that I started just like buying my own different socks, and there's a lot of good socks, hiking socks and stuff like that that were really good, and those are the particular ones I had a tendency to use. I used to go to REI a lot, and I would just go buy the socks at REI. They were bougie and more expensive, but I just found them to be more comfortable in the long run.
yeah, yeah. One of the things I like about Ariats is they come with good inserts already in them. You know,
I've not tried Ariat. My boot of choice used to be Georgia boot, but the
They
last pair
come.
I bought from them, for obvious reasons, yeah. So,
They make good
uh,
boots though.
well, they were until I found out Rocky bought them. The last pair I bought were absolute heel
Jump.
killers. They just
Really?
they just hurt my feet.
Did you? I
That's
had a
not good.
pair and they just came apart and they were full of cardboard.
Well, that's what happens when a good boot company sells out to a larger thing. So my boot of choice right now, and I'll jump on Mario's bandwagon there. Danner boots, Yeah, they're going to cost you. But I was taught there's two things you take care of. One is you spend the money. Number one is for your feet. The other is your mattress. Take care of your feet. Take care of your back. All the rest of that stuff falls into place.
Yep.
Has anybody tried the Origin boots?
I have a pair of Origins. They are not they're not the work boot. They're kind of like um it's kind of it looks like a dressy boot, but it kind of it didn't do so good for me. I was not really impressed towards the end. As I started wearing it more, they just kind of like shaped into kind of looks like a clown shoe now, man, and I kind of didn't like it. Um, I personally wouldn't tell people to buy an Origin boot. I just have not heard good things about them. I know that in many cases they're trying to start up and everything like that, but um, for the money and what you spend on it, I not seen good reviews on it, so I would tell you not to purchase them. What I did is I bought the secondhand boot, like the boots that have just a little bit of deficiencies on them.
Yeah.
I bought those and they were like $100 cheaper than the original price. But to be honest with you, I still wear the boot. Is decent because what I like about it is you can replace the sole on it. But yeah, they just I was not really impressed with them.
Well, I like a short, a mid-length or mid-height boot, and I hadn't found one yet that I liked. So,
If
I
you're looking,
jump in on. Oh,
yeah,
sorry. Go ahead.
go ahead, brother. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna say I want to jump in on comfort. Like Mario did bring up. Foot care is important. Like without mobility, you got problems, and there's a big difference between fashionable and comfortable after 8-10 hours on your feet. Whether they breathe, you need like the proper tool for the proper job. So I think people should kind of focus more on footwear, especially with your kids and stuff like that. Proper arch support, make sure the shoes are wide enough. Don't just buy them because they're cool. Because cool is going to lead to basically fucked up later in life. And everything kind of starts with the feet. Your posture, how you're carrying yourself can lead up to back problems. It's a big issue. It truly is. Just put it out there that, focus on comfort. The hell with fashion.
yeah. Everybody was pushing. I guess it's been about 4 or 5 years ago. Everybody was pushing the what is it, Solomon shoes, and so I had to go out and get a pair. They were the biggest pieces of junk that I have ever bought in my life.
Well,
I mean, the soles go in no time flat. They're just gone. You can't if you wear them on hard surfaces, they just chews them up.
yeah. Also keep in mind everybody's foot is different. The way you walk, your gait, everything's a little different. So your friend's perfect shoe isn't necessarily your perfect shoe.
Absolutely.
Amen, brother.
Yep.
Same thing with guns for guns.
Yeah, that's why I like Ariats, because I gotta have a wide shoe, and especially with boots, Ariats have do really well that way. They're pretty consistent as far as being on the wide side.
That's on my list to try, but right now I got a pair of Danners that I absolutely love them suckers, and I've had them 3 or 4 years.
What's that cowboy boot you like, Jamie?
Tacovas.
Tacovas. Yeah, I went by I've got one of those stores you like. It's real close to my home, and I went by it the other day, and I thought, I wonder if Jamie ever got him any Tacovas.
I haven't, but I got a smart ass nephew that's already got 3 pair.
So
Well, if you find the style you want and you want them, let me know. I'll get them for you and send them to you.
So who actually makes a cowboy boot in the U.S. nowadays?
Well, Tacovas are designed in Texas, but they're built in Mexico.
Mexico. Yeah, a lot of them are made in Mexico. I even heard Justin boots are made in Mexico now.
Yeah, some of them are. Yep. I don't think all of them, but some of them.
When I wore cowboy boots, I always wore Fry.
I always like those. Dang, I can't remember the name of them. Tony something. Tony Long.
Tony
Tony
Llama.
Llamas. Yeah, man.
Well,
Yeah.
those are the
I have one pair of Tony Llamas, maybe two. I think maybe two. Those are nice boots. And then the nicest boots that I have is a pair of Lucchese's.
Lucchese's incredible, well made boot.
If it makes any difference, my Chevy was made in Mexico in '95, and I still drive that son of a bitch.
Your Chevy?
All right, that settles it. I'm ordering a pair of Tacovas as soon as the holidays are over.
You might get them cheaper now. Just saying.
Maybe,
Right now.
but I got Christmas presents to buy right now.
Maybe you get a 2-for-1 sale. I don't know. Check it out.
You never know.
I'm just saying because the thing when it comes to anything retail, JH is that oh god, is sometimes the best prices are like towards the end of the year. So
Oh no, what is that?
yeah, those freaking paisas wear that shit. Those things are ugly as hell. They look so stupid with those things, man.
Wow.
They think they look all slick and cool with them, man.
That's crazy, dude.
It reminds me of a fucking retired pimp when he put fucking Cadillac things on his fucking shoes.
It's got to be great going upstairs or a ladder.
Oh,
Yeah, you'd never make it up a ladder, dude.
mm-mm.
Not even close.
You'd have to go up it backwards.
Yeah, those are
I can't think
horrendous.
Mexican made boots without thinking of those things, man. I just really, really can't.
Yeah, you picked like the worst part of Mexican shoemaking. You put those ridiculous things on there. Great job, buddy.
Yeah, so man, there's a couple of guys in the side chat like Danners, Edward Petty,
Yeah,
Bud with a gun.
yeah. Well, the Danner's been around for a long, long time, man. They're old school, man. Just like Corcoran's are. They're an old school boot
1930.
maker.
They've been around since 1932.
And I'm telling you guys, I know they're expensive, but golly, man, for workwear, man, I got a pair of hikers. I wear hunting all the time. They keep my feet good and warm, and I don't have feet problems with those Danners. And there's some other pair that have caused me to have heel problems, and it hurts bad. But my Danners just feel good on my feet. They work well and they last a long time. What else can you get? What can you say? I mean,
Yeah.
That's what you want. I mean, I'm not one of these guys that's like a woman. I don't need 500 pairs of shoes. I usually have about 3 going at any given time. That's about it. And
You call me a woman?
I wear them till there's nothing left of them, and then I grab something. I go get a new pair, but which may not be the smartest idea. Maybe if I had more shoes, I wouldn't be wearing them out. But I don't know.
Typically, my work boots only last about 3 months, just because I'm on my feet constantly all the time, and so yeah, they don't last long. And that's mostly the heels, because the heels wear out.
You don't ever take them and have them rehealed or resoled?
There's only a couple places out here that do it. I'm trying to find an Amish place because hopefully they'll be cheaper and better. But I can only find one place so far out here, or sorry, two places out here. They're both owned by Mexicans, which I'm not opposed to. I went there and had one pair resold, but they're not cheap. They're very expensive.
Well, you know, that is a trade in the United States that's getting harder and harder to find.
It's harder and harder. Yeah, there's a lot of places that I used to get my boots done that are no longer in business.
I mean, Rob has a point though. Okay, when it comes to shoes and comfort, the one thing that I don't understand really is Crocs. Now, Crocs have always been like the shoe from Idiot Land, but really, you know, you've got Mexican Crocs, a good example right here. They're really comfort. You know, you catch a baby crocodile, you gut it, and you put your foot in it. What the hell?
That's better than the normal Crocs. I was gonna say I got like 7 pairs of boots right here, just in this one room, and not one pair of Crocs. Damn it!
Yeah,
So
I don't wear no Crocs, man. You'll never see a pair of Crocs on my feet ever.
What are those? What are those things that were
Amen.
so popular before Crocs that men were wearing, and they'd wear socks with them?
penny loafers?
No. Sandal.
I don't know, man.
It was some kind of sandal. Birkins.
Oh, slides. I think it was called, where they were like the Nikes or Adidas or all that type of shit.
This was a
Birkenstocks.
Okay, Birkenstock. Yeah, see, yeah, I'm thinking more urban. Yeah, you're thinking like the cork ones with the $100 cork shoes for the hippies.
that or something.
All right, we're about halfway. Alan, you want to shout out the side chat, brother?
Oh, I suppose that I could if YouTube allows me here. That's yeah, Crocs. I tell you, Crocs. Edward Petty, Fudd with a Gun, Kyle out there, Kyle Lusk out there, Ozzy Osbourne. Yeah, Vanessa Kitty's was out there. Yep. Yeah. Honey Creek Road out there. Dwayne was out there. M. Gabriel. Yeah, I don't. You know, people just aren't accustomed to us skipping a couple of weeks when stuff happens in real life, I guess. But
Yeah.
yes, thank you all for joining us this evening.
Yeah, we apologize about that, folks. We've had a few weeks where things have just kind of come up. You know, last week I had to work, and then had a couple of weeks where I had some bad weather and wasn't able to really. I was having intermittent internet, so it was kind of, you know, I didn't want to try and jump on and then just keep having to jump off all the time.
So, Alan, you mean we've had Honey Creek Road and Fudd with a Gun?
Yes, both of them have posted in the side chat. Believe it or not.
Amazing.
Isn't that absolutely phenomenal? That you know, good to see both the personalities out there.
But we have a comment from Fudd with a Gun. Good night, folks. Sleepy. So he gone.
He must have taken some meds.
I'm fixing to take mine, and at that point, you got 1 hour.
So when you talk about number of boots, or you know, like a girl. I was cracking a joke when he was like, "I'm not one of them girl guys." I got a lot of boots, but I got boots for different things. And obviously, if depending how you roll, at the very minimum, I'd want an all around boot. But also hiking, I got stuff for water. More aggressive options for work. So if one pair does end up getting soaked, I can just throw another pair on. You know what I mean? Depending on what you're doing, you should. It's almost like guns. You should have your basics, but then you can get into specialties a little bit if you want. But it's all about comfort. And at our age or whatever, adults, it's not like you're gonna outgrow them. So if you buy decent stuff, you can keep them around for a while if you only wear them once in a while.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
key thing is anything you can resole is the best thing in the world. Saves so
Oh
much
yeah,
money.
yeah. It especially you can find anybody that actually works on stuff nowadays. That's phenomenal. Me, I've got like my tack boots. I've got my tennis shoes that I wear occasionally on weekends. Um, I have my work boots and I have dress shoes. That's pretty much it. That I've got like 4 pairs of shoes.
Is it
Now it
though,
seems
Alan?
like I have more because when I wore out a pair of tennis shoes, they still sit in the entryway after I've bought another pair, and they just sit there just in case I need them. But most of the time, after about a year and a half, or after I break down the next set of tennis shoes, I throw them out.
Yeah,
You
I
know
do
why
the
that
same
is?
thing. I do the same thing with work boots. So I keep a pair of old work boots by the door for doing stuff outside.
That's what I was fixing to say. Your tennis shoes that you have replaced, they then become what is called your quote unquote buddies. The buddy tennis shoes are for work in the yard. That's for cutting grass, hauling garbage to the dump, that kind of thing, because you don't care how bad they get messed up. But yeah, we all have those. But one critical category, Alan, that you left out is, and where you live, this is critical, dude, and it is house shoes. Your After I get home from work, take those work boots off, take those jeans off, put on those pajama bottoms. We're kicking it at the house till we get ready for bed. You got to have a good pair of house shoes that hopefully keep your feet warm.
Well,
Sneakers.
yeah, I get home, I take the boots off, I go do my pocket dump. I'm taking my work socks off anyway. And so instead of like house shoes, I've got like house socks. And so I just like put on a nice cozy pair of socks that I don't leave the house in. I've got I've got a drawer that's literally my house sock drawer. Um, and
With
they
them
don't even need to
traction
match,
things on the
whatever, as
bottom,
long as I feel all right.
they have those
But I
traction
don't I
things
don't
on the
have like
bottom.
house shoes.
Yeah, I don't really do house shoes either. I just use, I guess, what we're calling tennis shoes or trainers or running shoes is what I'd call them. Shit, I'll walk around in my boxers, socks, and sneakers on. I guess always ready to go. You never know.
Well, I
But
appreciate
they're
it.
comfortable compared to work boots all day, though.
Yeah.
You take a shower, change, throw on a fresh pair of socks, and it's comfortable. And even if I am just kicking around, I gotta run outside for something or whatever. I'm good to go. I don't have to swap shoes. But everybody's different. But and even on sneaker aspect, you got stuff for wintertime, for stuff for summer. Stuff for water. I got 2 sets for water that are waterproof, but if you're stuck outside working all day in damn rain, you'd appreciate some water gear. That's all I'm gonna say. Yeah, it's a difference of actually getting shit done or shaking and saying it's too bad and I gotta go home. Is the proper damn gear.
Yeah, well, I'll just say this, that boots will always be the statement of manly footwear.
Yeah, yeah. But you'd be surprised. Moabs, they're not American, but like Merrell, mother of all boots, Moabs, they come in waterproof or not. Quite comfortable, very useful, lasts quite a while. And you can stand in puddles of water all day in a pair of sneakers or boots or mids. Sometimes you don't need a full boot, is all I'm saying. But yeah, I'm with you though. Boots are the way. And Crocs, that's a no-go. That's like kicking around the house, out on the boat. Maybe you're a nurse, but that's not dropping the kids off in the morning or going shopping at Walmart.
Dang sure ain't working on a concrete floor all day.
That's 90% of
Right.
Walmart clientele.
Heavy equipment, out with a chainsaw, anything, manly.
Yeah. Yeah, you just described 90% of Walmart's clientele, man.
And I mean no disrespect to anybody. Obviously, in an emergency, you do what you got to do, but there's always, you could have been better geared for it. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I'll admit it, man. I got a bunch of boots because I'm a boot person. So I got quite a few pairs of cowboy boots. Then I got my hunting boots. I got an additional pair of boots for work just in case.
Different set for each kilt.
I got specific boots for my kilt. Yes, I was just getting about to say that. And then I got a couple different other pairs of boots as well. So yeah, man, I keep quite a few pairs of boots, and then I got one pair of dress shoes and one pair of trainers. That's it. And the trainers are just for wearing around the house. I don't really wear them out anywhere.
Gotta have options, because even if you do have perfect waterproof boots, sometimes shit happens and you got like 4 hours, 6 hours before you got to be back at work. You're not drying your boots in that time. I mean, maybe you hooked up some Tim the Tool Man dryer, but if you're talking soaked, you need another pair of boots. Yeah,
more power.
right. Yeah, it blows the sole right out the end or whatever.
I remember that shit back in the day. That was classic.
Well, in all reality, it's not that far sometimes, because you can't tell me it hasn't come to mind where something breaks and you're like, well, that's because they use these stupid plastic gears. You know what? I could probably make something better than that, but we usually don't follow through. So,
well, it's just like most of us don't follow instructions. We do it our way.
yeah, that's true too. It's true too. We'll argue and flip it around 20 times instead of looking at what the thing said.
There's always a bigger hammer. There's always a bigger drill to figure it out.
Yeah, if it doesn't go in the first time, just get a bigger hammer.
Or duct tape.
I feel you, Edward. I mean, I have to wear steel toe boots at my work too, and there's certain areas where people are allowed to wear comp toes, whatever. The fact of the matter is my personnel goes all over the plant, so yeah, we have to wear steel toes. It is what it is.
Yeah, Ariat's one of the few boot companies that do the cowboy boot that actually has a steel toe. That's one of the reasons I like them too. They do the steel toe and in the cowboy style.
You guys focus on like reinforced shanks, anything like that? Because I find that important. dealing around or walking around
Absolutely.
sites with nails and shit like that. Because
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Not only that, but
absolutely,
going up
man. Like
going up steps and
I'm
shit.
around. I deal with a lot with hydraulic oil and stuff like that. So I got the the oil slip and all the rest of it on there.
I think it's worth it because coming from someone that's had dozens of nails in my feet, it's not fun. It's like anything. You'd be much happier without it.
Yeah, I'm in 100% agreement with that.
Yeah, and I even have I even bought ones that do electrical too. That are supposed to help with that if something happens. Just because a lot of times, uh, you know, the machines that they're working on, if maintenance has to come around and work on them, something happens, I want to kind of be somewhat covered because we don't get issued shit like they get issued. So
Turned out to be a footwear chat.
you never know what you're gonna get on here, man.
Al Bundy would be very proud of us right now.
Let me run something by Mario if I can.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
Tell me what you think of this book.
The Bridges of Madison County.
I haven't read it, but if it's from Jocko, I could probably say it's a pretty good book.
That's the wrong one.
That's the
If
wrong
you hadn't
one.
watched the Sean Ryan,
Yeah,
Jocko,
he accidentally clicked. He didn't click the link that was for Brokeback Mountain.
The Bridge of Terabithia.
Yeah, and that's it's a big one right there, man. And it's one thing that, as a leader, you definitely have to do.
yeah, he talks in detail about what he wrote that about on that Sean Ryan interview.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he stood up and up in front of commanding officers and said, I own this. And his guys were like, why did you do that? And he said, I was in charge.
Well, you got to. One of the things that I always did when I had a team of people underneath me was I made sure they knew I had their back. So long as I knew they were in the right, I'd go to bat for them and make sure nothing ever happened to them.
I'll tell you, I gained a whole new respect for Jocko. I didn't know much about him. I mean, I knew he was a big leadership speaker and organizational speaker and all of that, motivator. I knew that he, had the different companies and all the, extreme fighting stuff that he did and all of that. But then to actually hear that interview, man, this guy he's not just a soldier. He was in the SEALs and they pulled him to the side and said, you've got to get a college degree. We want to promote you, but you got to get a college degree. So while being a Navy SEAL, he went to school and got his college degree and came out. And dude, he's more than just your average Navy SEAL guy.
So it actually brings up a good topic. Battle Bean, how's your podcast going, man?
Oh, it's going good, man. I've been trying to get some people to interview. I've got one person that I try to interview, but unfortunately, man, the recording was not that great. So I've been trying to reach out to some of the local veterans here and just do an in-person interview with them. I'll be straight with you. A lot of veterans have been really
Kind of stand
careful. Yeah, kind of careful about talking about military service because right now, especially nowadays, in people have a tendency of magnifying everything, And I think a lot of those folks are just trying to not really talk about it, and it's kind of sad. I wish more of them would talk to them. I mean, like I wish I had kind of like how Sean Ryan does, but I think Sean Ryan got into it by just hearsay and just knowing the right people. And I mean, he interviews the you know the tip of the spear type of people. I just want to interview anybody who's served and what their what their experiences were and stuff like that. And I try to present it in that way. But unfortunately, man, it's not always going to be as easy as we want to be. I mean, there's a lot of veterans that don't really want to talk about their service, don't want to talk about what they encounter in Afghanistan and Iraq. And this is my generation. These are the people that I talk to most of the time. A lot of Vietnam vets, they already have a hard time dealing with their own stuff, and so they're kind of standoffish to talk about their military experience or what they did out of the military. How did they encounter PTSD? Blah blah blah. Stuff that I'm usually okay with talking about. A lot of veterans are not, and
Right.
it's been a bit challenging. But I haven't given up yet.
No, man, don't give it
I
up.
definitely
And
I
first,
definitely want to continue trying and trying to find some folks that want to talk about things, because I really feel that their voices should be heard. I really feel that I think if most people would understand the sacrifices that we did, especially going to some of these remote forward observation bases out in Afghanistan and Iraq, that people would really understand the trauma that we go through and trying to transition back into the civilian world. It's been a little more difficult than I thought it would be, man. But
so let me ask you this, man. Do
mhm.
you have something wrote out like a mission statement or something along those lines that folks like myself can talk to veterans that I know and say, hey, take a look at this. Is this something you'd be interested in?
If anything, I think my initial podcast that I did, I kind of talked about what I wanted to do. Basically, is I just want to give them an opportunity to talk about their experiences, good or bad, and how that changed them. They're transitioning out of the military. How was that like? Stuff like that. But you also got to understand that even though it's been 20 years for a lot of Iraq and Afghanistan veterans, it's still kind of fresh in their mind, and it's maybe something that they're not willing to talk about. It's no different than what happened to, let's say, for example, the Band of Brothers guys. Many of them didn't want to talk about their stuff for like 20, 30 years after the war, and I think towards the end, as they got really older, they really wanted to speak out and say, hey, look, this is what I've experienced, this is what it was like. And
And you gotta,
I think that's the reason why it became so successful, is the fact that some of these guys did want to talk about it, and they really went to very specifics of what they did. And I think when it came out, I think many veterans, especially a lot of folks that were born during that time, really got a better sense of their sacrifice and what they went through. And it really brought a different perspective that we'd never seen before. Because if you really think about it, in the past 30 years, what have we seen? We've seen a lot of good movies like Platoon, or we've seen, you know, you know, Full Metal Jacket and stuff like that. Um, and what made those really realistic is the fact that they were just so realistic, and people were shocked at it. But what made Band of Brothers so traumatic, and it made people really buy into it, is that most of that word came from their commander, from the guy that pretty much led on a lot of these missions that they did and stuff like that. Um, so it made it a lot more realistic, and um, I'm hoping through time things will get better, and that many of these guys would eventually talk about it, because if you really think about it, the Iraq and Afghanistan war was not a popular war. It was not at all. In many cases, we felt like we got cheated. I felt no different than how my brothers and sisters in Vietnam went through. And, when we were told that there were WMDs and there was no WMDs, and we're out there fucking searching and, you know, beating down doors for shit that we knew that wasn't, that we didn't know, that at that time we didn't know
Right.
was,
You're being told and given orders,
yeah.
and yeah.
And then you find out that all that shit was just a big fucking lie. Yeah, and there was a lot more other shit that went through, especially in my last deployment, that really pissed me the fuck off. You um, like I still have a major fucking, how can I really say it? I really fucking hate Dick Cheney, and I know that he recently fucking passed away. But Dick Cheney did a lot of shit in the Iraq War that really pissed me off, because he was um, he was one of the executives for KBR, and KBR was a major contractor that was out there running a lot of the convoys and stuff like that. Come to find out that it was all a big fucking lie. We're doing convoys just so they can meet their profit, and sometimes not even fucking, risking our lives for some fucking combos that has shit in it. It just really pisses me off.
Yeah, that's one thing that's can definitely, is a huge issue, is so many people in Congress and the Senate and all that are heavily invested in the military industrial complex too. And so it only benefits them. It doesn't benefit anyone else.
No,
Yeah,
it
they all
doesn't.
get rich.
Yeah, Halliburton, Dick Cheney and Halliburton really, I mean, they were rolling through Halliburton. Dick Cheney did a lot of different stuff in Iraq. Caused a lot of things to happen surely for profit.
And it pissed me off because that's not what I signed up for. You know, you signed up for trying to do the right thing, to protect our people and protect the interests. I understand about protecting the interests of the United States, but when it comes to, when you feel that those interests really only benefit certain people and not society itself, or American, the whole
Right.
American
And when the
society.
people that are
Yeah,
supposed to be your leaders are lying to you, that's
yeah.
not, you know,
And it
it's
wasn't it wasn't like it was it was our our leadership in the military. It was above us, and in many cases, we we had a we had a hard time with it, you know. Like this whole thing that happened, no, not too recently. You guys saw me make a video about this whole sedition video. I find that shit very interesting, but in reality, how the fuck do you know what's an illegal order and what's not an illegal order? Most of the time, we're in the fucking Iraq or Afghanistan. We were told to go do something. We fucking did it. We didn't question the shit. And I never felt that any of the orders that were ever given to me where I felt like I needed to contest them. Because we're also taught that if there's an order that you feel that somehow it's not, it goes against your fucking morals or whatever the case may be, that you have a right to contest it, because you're the one that's going to be doing the deed. But in reality, I've never felt that way. I never got to a point that I did a mission where I just felt like I was doing something illegal or something that I felt that was in some way, going to affect me later on, or something like that, or anything of a moral statue, because in reality, you got to stop and think about it. And I think a lot of people don't understand this, but there's JAG officers out in the fucking middle of nowhere, and they're looking at what the commanders are doing, because in reality, they have to make sure that everything that they're doing, you know, it's within the Geneva Convention, but at the same time, it's something that's ethically and morally correct. You know, and that's why it struck me as odd that you would have these fucking congressmen who were former service members make a bullshit video like that. It really pissed me off.
God Almighty, was that? I mean, that's the. I hope they do what they say they're going to do with what's his name, reactivate him and try him. That whole thing with those guys coming out.
I honestly think they can't. I don't think they can't, man. I would love to see that shit, man, but I don't know if they really can. But in reality, I think he does. Mark Kelly and all those congressmen need to be fucking held accountable for their actions. I think in reality, every one of those motherfuckers needs to have some sort of fucking uh you know, some sort of reasoning as to why they did what they did. I don't get how somebody who was a former CIA officer, former military, and Mark Kelly was a fucking captain in the Navy, bro. This dude was a fucking highly decorated pilot and then became an astronaut. I I don't understand why he is the way he is. I think he became like that after his wife got shot, and
Left his
he just
brain.
went completely left, like there's no tomorrow, because I really didn't think he was like that before. But it's kind of sad that whoever voted him in, and the people that he represent, I hope they really understand what kind of fucking guy this is. I think this guy is not what we would consider a good fucking American that's really in the best interest of everybody out there.
Yeah, I guarantee you he's not the patriot that he posed himself as when he ran.
Well, I mean, yeah, I don't think. I mean, there's been a lot of people that said that they're patriots and they're not. I mean, but it is what it is. I think to a certain point, there's a lot of people out there that will say one thing and do another. Um, it's really sad, and majority of these guys end up being congressmen. Like Dan Crenshaw. Like Dan Crenshaw is like the biggest. He's just such a disappointment to many of us out there. Really, really is. Like this guy couldn't even back up a fellow fucking Navy SEAL. Um, if you guys recall that Navy SEAL that got tried because they said that he illegally killed somebody in Afghanistan or whatever the fuck it is, and like nobody would back this dude up, and I'm like, wow, how the fuck do all these guys just turn their back on a brother like that?
Yep.
I don't get it, but there's just a lot of crazy shit that's going on out there, man, and it's really sad that a lot of these guys that they're former military, that were pretty much got elected because of their military service, and you're thinking that these guys are really patriots and really have the well-being of all of us, are turning out to be just as bad as every other fucking politician.
Well, money doesn't procrastinate one bit over who it's going to promote, and it doesn't use morality, and it doesn't care about your military service. If you take it, you're just another criminal. And
I don't know, man. To a certain point, a lot of us in the military have, what we call integrity, and it's something that we really, really fucking are big on. I mean, I don't know how many of these guys that sold out their fucking constituents can look at themselves in the mirror and say, "Hey, I did something right today, or I did something, I don't know. Maybe I just have a
Yeah,
morality
you got a
clarity than,
moral compass. These guys don't.
yeah. I don't believe in that kind of nonsense.
You
But
know, it's
to each their own. They're the ones that have to live with that shit.
yeah, a lot of stuff's coming out on a lot of these different people, and we'll see more here and there, but there's a lot of shit going on right now, and we'll never always know the truth on a lot of it. They lie to us about a lot of shit, so um, we just got to do what we can do, the best we can do it, and look out for each other the best we can look out for each other in that regard. Um, Did any of you guys take advantage of any Black Friday stuff or anything like that, or any of the deals going out there?
What, the Black Friday hoaxes?
You know, they crank up one number, tell you it's worth this much, and then drop the price way down.
We were talking about this the other night, and
Yeah.
I guess the situation is like, if I'm looking at making a major purchase, I've been looking at price. I've been watching prices for a month before I make that. I'm always going to watch to see where I can get the best deal, and I'm not under such a rush that I have to buy that I jump out and buy it. And I'm not. What they're saying are sale prices are the same prices they were 2 months ago.
Exactly. That's why a lot of people didn't buy anything. I was very disappointed with this Black Friday. Like, there was nothing that really gave me that wow factor. I think the only one that had a really good deal was Mid South Shooters. They had like I think it was I think it was 2,000 primers or some shit. I don't remember what it was. It was like, I think 5,000 primers. I'm not sure, for like 249. I was like, shit, that's a good fucking price. And that is the only fucking thing I saw that was worth fucking anything out there, man. There's really not many good deals right now. I think it's just the whole economy's getting fucked over, and the whole terrorists, and I think people are just being very, very, careful with their money right now.
Yeah, they're definitely being more cautious. You see that a lot for sure.
I didn't go, but I mean, I've honestly thought this whole thing's been a scam for years. For the last
Oh,
few
yeah.
years, you can see where prices are the same damn price, or in some cases, the price or even more on Black Friday. Uh, Prior to that, 10, 15 years, like, you had doorbusters where if you got there early, you had a chance of getting something at a decent price, but it was only a few big ticket items. They only had 100 available, blah, 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 blah. That's when you seen all the fights and riots and shit from back in the day, kind of. Prior to that, you know, you could actually expect to get some deals. Anything on the end cap, stuff like that, that was, it was reduced, like actually reduced. But over these last 10, 15, 20 years, it's just turned to absolute shit. I don't even see the point. If anything, maybe Cyber Monday, and even that's turning into, it's taking the same way. Like, it's I don't even know why they try anymore. Honestly,
There's
I think
still
everybody knows.
there's still a lot of people that fall for it. I mean, I don't know if you've seen some of the ones like Lowe's was giving away a $2,000 gift card to the first opportunity for the first like 50 people that walked in the door. They were handing out buckets, and if you had the opportunity to win $2,000 or whatever at the store. So I mean,
The
there's still some places
opportunity
that are
to.
doing stuff, but I think a lot more. I'm seeing a lot more on the tool side of it versus the regular retail side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Lowe's
I
did
I
had
wasn't
some
seeing
fucking.
anything really in the firearms market that I've been keeping my eye on and kind of lining things up on a build that I'm very very slowly accumulating parts for. Because I was like, oh, okay, well, I'll hold off and see if anything happens for Black Friday, and none of the stuff that I'm really interested in hit that mark at all. See if it happens for Cyber Monday, but when it comes to tools and certain sites that I watch for auto parts, yeah, I picked up a couple of decent things here and there, but nothing that I would really write home about.
No.
I think the only one that had anything decent was Lowe's. They had all these fucking flex tools on like fucking 70% off. It was fucking nuts, and I think that shit sold out in like fucking. I think like 2 hours, everything was sold out. I mean, we're talking like substantial savings, but I'm like, I already got plenty of tools.
You know
I
what
don't
the
feel
rumor
and
is? They're going to jump that line.
oh
Yeah, they've
yeah,
been getting ready to get rid of Flex for a while.
yeah. So all the other flex stuff was like ridiculously marked down.
So you go out
I
and
don't know if it's
go out
true, but I always
flex, and then you get home with it, and 3 months down the road, you need a part for it. Oh, we're
Yeah,
sorry.
you're not gonna find the part for it.
Yeah, you
another
bought
battery or something. Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I'm a
The
Milwaukee bitch, man. That shit's always around.
yeah, they're saying well, rumors are going around about Home Depot like coming to bankruptcy or something. So I don't know if that's going to be the case too. So
I wouldn't see it with Home Depot. Home Depot's got way too big a market. Someone,
yeah,
I mean,
I just
someone will end up bailing them out if that's the case because they're way too big.
something. I'd assume
Well,
if
I
it
almost
was
made a
true,
trip
Lowe's
to
wouldn't
Home
be far
Depot.
behind.
I almost made a trip to Home Depot strictly for some of the Milwaukee stuff that they had going on there, because they had like a couple of different battery pack specials, and if you buy this tool with the charger and battery packs, you get this other tool for free. And so you're looking at, if you're spending $400, you can get this other tool that's $200 for free. Tool only, mind you, but still, you're still getting another Milwaukee tool. But if you really kind of looked at what the value of the $200 tool was on a regular basis, it wasn't, it was still like off some. But I was kind of curious if I went ahead and bought that pack and then came back and returned the tool only, if I would end up getting the full value for it.
Looking for the loopholes.
I've seen it happen in the past. I don't know if they are still allowed or not, but I have seen that happen in the past where people have done that. No, I saw a couple things at Home Depot. I didn't go anywhere. I just looked on their website, but I saw a couple decent Milwaukee deals. And honestly, I saw quite a few decent ones for Rigid and DeWalt as well. They had some decent ones, but yeah, you always got to look, especially on tools. You got to look at the regular price versus what they're telling you that the value is.
Yeah, if you're looking for tools, there's really 2 times where I think you get the best deals. One's Black Friday, and the other one's for Father's Day. Other than that, not so good.
I haven't bought power tools in a long time. I try to even think of like hand tools and stuff. I must have bought something recently, but I don't know. I don't have to buy them often in a sense, but I use them. Like that's how I make my money. So I don't know. I got 2 or 3 of almost everything. I just threw away a bunch of shit, sanders, and I got too much shit between my stuff, my dad's shit. Too much shit, basically. I'm keeping drills for souvenir, like memorabilia. My dad's old all steel Milwaukee that'll break your wrist or electrocute you if the cord isn't done right.
You gotta love the ones that'll break your wrist, man.
Oh yeah. Like you use it as a weapon. Like, what am I gonna do with it? Am I really gonna throw it in my truck nowadays, or use it around here? It's just kind of memorabilia at this point. So I'm not gonna throw it away, but you know, other old cheap ones or this or that. I mean, shit, I don't need 10, 15 freaking drills. Like, I don't need 4 circular saws, you know. I don't mind a couple, especially if I'm like cutting block or metal, you know. Changing blades it can take time. So depending on the situation, you know, it's nice. Plus anything you cut block with, you got to clean all up and shit anyway. And obviously I have other tools to cut block as well. But if for some reason it's just, you know, it's nice. I don't know. It's nice to have options, but at a certain point, you just got too much shit, man. Like,
Right.
even
No, the
somebody
whole
that uses
reason.
it on a daily basis, you know, sometimes
Yeah.
there's just too much shit.
Yeah, the whole reason I jumped on the Home Depot to see was what they had as far as tool chests and or storage in general, just to see if they had any good deals going there, because I got so many tools that I gotta start moving stuff around and reorganizing it. So I wanted to see if they had any good deals going there, but they had some. They weren't too bad.
And
But
auto tools
on
are
the
something where I think the
like
average guy might be able to spend some money. Like, you know, if you get ratcheting wrenches, shit like that, or ones with a nice pivot on it so you can get around an angle. Like, sometimes those little things, if you don't have them, they're worth getting, you know. So I'm not against buying tools at any means, by all means. Shit, I had a rule for years. Every paycheck, every time I got paid, I bought something. I don't care if it's a $10 hand tool or $300 whatever, but I added something, and then it got to the point where now I'm tripping over shit.
yeah, the only thing I
Well,
do
yeah,
that
you mentioned
way.
you mentioned the ratcheting heads. Yeah, I've got a great set of ratcheting box ends, but I didn't have any that had swivel heads on them. So I mean, yeah, of course I got to
There you
go out
go.
and get some swivel
Yeah.
head ratcheting box ends, you know. And then I started kind of falling down the rabbit hole of some tools being tested and being compared with other things. And then I was like, oh well, you know, I've had this snap on for 8 years now, and yeah, apparently it's not nearly as good as this $28 ratchet that's at Home Depot. So yeah, I'm gonna go pick that up. Um, yeah,
You go down that rabbit hole, it's a big rabbit hole. There's a
Yeah, but
couple channels
sometimes
I
you got
watch
the
that
time.
do that,
And
and
those,
that's a very deep rabbit hole.
Man,
yeah.
that's like you watching the Ultimate Reloader. That motherfucker gets you in a big ass rabbit hole too.
Think about it. If you're using one of them shitty ratchets, you're all bent over. Your wrist is way down in the back. You're rubbing on shit, and you can barely get it to catch to get an actual turn on it. You're gonna be bitching at yourself instead of having a decent ratchet where you click 3 times in that frame, and you just rock, rock, rock done. You know, those little things turn of, you know, they can keep your sanity. They really can.
Time saver.
Yeah, I only have
well,
one thing I
and
typically
wall
look at.
savers, and I mean, you know, the
6
neighborhood
points,
kids don't
12
have to
points,
hear your language.
different purposes.
You know, I pick up a ratchet and I think to myself, what is the velocity of this thing when I'm pissed?
How many layers of drywall can I put this through?
It happens more often than you think. I only have one thing I really kind of look at a lot when I go to if I go to the store, if I stop there, I'll always check and see if bits are on sale, because you can never have enough bits, because you always know when you go to do that job, either the bit's already broken or it's gonna break on you. So I always stop and see if there are bits on sale, and I'll just buy a bunch of bits. Doesn't matter how many I've got, I'll buy more just to have them, because they're gonna break no matter what they say they're rated for, impact ready, all the rest of it. They all freaking break.
Yeah, it's
It got
like if you're building a deck, you just go ahead and buy that bulk pack of number 2 Phillips. And
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. The one. I mean, you can buy any brand. I think I've been running DeWalt for a while, but they last. But honestly, I don't use a lot of Phillips. If anything,
you
working
just
on decks or whatever, it's more of like a torque torque head or
I was
whatnot.
gonna
So
say, those all the T heads, and the T heads
yeah,
will eventually break on. You know, I've got DeWalt and Milwaukee. I think I've got some other ones too. I'll buy them, just like I said. If they're got a good deal on them when I'm there, I'll buy a bunch of them. You know, that way I got them.
and usually every box you buy comes with a bit in it. Or like if you're buying screws for decks with hidden screws and stuff like that, it comes with the tips and all that shit with it. So eventually you'll end up with so many goddamn tips, you're just throwing them away. So because they're in your tool belts, or they're here, you got 4 in that box, or some of those damn things. But it is nice to have a variety, like the ones for drop ceilings, putting that in, countersink tips. Those are nice if you're doing anything with dry lumber near the corners or edges. I mean, there's a lot of stuff out there, obviously, and little things that can make your day a hell of a lot easier that really aren't
Yeah.
that much money.
And eat your salad. Eat your salad.
Yeah, no, absolutely, man. And drill bits are another one too. You know, if you see a good set of drill bits, just buy them. You know, they're worth having a good amount of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to buy another hole saw. So I've got a couple kits, but they're different styles. But I just burnt through a door the other day. I got the hole through, but
But it was
but
still smoking.
yeah. So, but yeah, it was took a few minutes longer than it should have. Let me put it that way.
Yeah, I think we've all had those jobs where it take a little longer than they should, and there are a lot of cuss words that are used.
Yep.
Yeah, I never understood why you go buy a box of 1,000 deck screws. They give you one bit. I mean, come on! I got 1,000 screws in one bit. What's the chances that one bit's going to make it through 1,000 screws?
Well, that's why they do all the bit kits on purpose.
Yeah, probably. I mean, I usually get through most things with a bit, a case or whatever.
That's just to give
I
you
don't know what
hope, dude.
brand it is, but I don't know.
Yeah, typically
It's just,
typically I've only had bits break mostly when doing concrete work. You know, that's typically when they break the most. But other than that, they don't generally break too much. But it's always good to have a good amount of them just in case.
Yeah, I've snapped a few on Tapcons, the blue screws that you use for anchors in concrete sometimes.
Yep. I tore one of those up. Tore one of those up about a month or so ago.
Oh yeah.
I definitely prefer the hex head on there, not the Phillips, but some of them do come with a Phillips.
Yeah, no, that one was one of the T25s. That thing just shattered.
I like that square drive that comes with some of the decking screws.
Oh, you son of a bitch. I curse at you every time I pull one of those now.
I hate those things, dude. I absolutely fucking hate those.
They always strip, man. Almost guaranteed. If you're lucky, you'll get it to break so it doesn't stay fastened like a deck board or something, but they always strip.
Dude, I had one deck I did about 3 years ago, 3.5 years ago, somewhere in there. And I go to pull up the old shit, and I kid you not, man, every other board had a different fucking head of screw in it. And I was cussing like a motherfucker. Some had square drives, some had T drives, some had Phillips. I'm like, what the fuck was going on here?
I will say the square drive goes in fine. It's just getting it out for some reason 2 years later. That's where it becomes a problem.
They a lot of them fucking stripped up, man. A lot of them.
That's what carbide sawzall blades are for. Because half the time you're never going to screw them back out. The head will break off of the screw or something. So
Yep, that deck was a problem for sure. I don't know what you're talking about, Dave. Anyway, we'll start going through the room. Battle Beam, what you got, brother?
Not much, man. Just enjoying the time off, and actually next week I'll get back to work. So, I mean Monday. But other than that, man, we're doing good. Just trying to stay busy, and same time, just trying to stay sane as well, because the holidays kind of get to me. But that's all I got.
All right, man. Always appreciate you. And guys, if you haven't checked out his podcast, make sure you go check that out too. Rob, what you got, brother?
Not much. Just glad everybody made it through the holiday. Nobody got taken out by the bird or anything like that. So, thanks for joining us. Eat a salad. Stay cool. Don't take any shit. And if Scotsman doesn't ass out, we'll see you next week.
Yeah, we should be here next week. Shouldn't be a problem. Hopefully, as long as the weather stays decent, don't lose power again or anything like that. That was a pain in the ass. I was spent most of the day without it, and that was horrible. Anyway, Bama, what you got, man?
Not a whole lot, just living life. Glad I'm living in a part of the country that we don't have to hear the call to prayer, unlike New York City. I don't know. It's just a crazy world. Trying not to watch news and enjoy life, even though everything's going to crap. But we'll get by. We'll get through. Hopefully, real Americans will stand up. How about?
Appreciate you, man. Jamie, what you got, brother?
Oh man, sorry I was gone for a minute. My son called, I had to answer the phone, but no, man, just back to work tomorrow. Kind of wonder how much longer I'm going to be doing that, but man, thanks for having me. Thanks for putting up with me. And thanks for letting me hang out with you guys tonight. It's always a fun time.
Always appreciate you, man. Thanks
Boy,
to everyone.
talk about bringing us down. Back to work tomorrow.
For some folks. Some of us were smart and took the day off. Appreciate everyone up in the side chat. You guys rock out there. Thanks for showing up and being a part of the show with us. Always good seeing you guys out there. And with that being said, Alan, would you please take us out right, brother?
Well, normally I have some type of advice or something to tell you about what's happening with my channel. Nothing's happening with the channel. What I will tell you is the Mexican word of the day. The Mexican word of the day is potato chip. I'll use it in a sentence. I ordered something from Europe, potato chip to the U.S. because of the tariffs. Keep your magazines loaded and one in the chamber. Woo!
That shit was